I admire your luck, Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
Being offered the role of James Bond is like being handed a golden ticket to cinematic immortality. But believe it or not, some actors have actually said no to playing the world's most famous spy. Here are 10 stars who turned down the chance to don the tux and order a shaken, not stirred, martini. Clint Eastwood. The Broccolis traditionally avoided casting non-British actors as Bond, though actors like the New Zealander Sam Neill and the Frenchman Lambert Wilson were considered. In the late 60s, Clint Eastwood was also a candidate to replace Sean Connery. Eastwood declined, feeling uncomfortable following Connery and believing the role should go to a Brit. Despite Eastwood's suitability for the role's physical demands, imagining him with an upper-crust English accent is quite challenging. Liam Neeson. Before Taken, Non-Stop, and any of the other apparently innumerable action films that Liam Neeson has appeared in over the past 15 years, he could have traded a particular set of skills for a license to kill. Neeson was approached after the release of Schindler's List made him an A-list star. However, Neeson's then-fiancée, Natasha Richardson, with whom he was shooting the film Nell, said to him, "Liam, I want to tell you something. If you play James Bond, we're not getting married." Christian Bale. Barbara Broccoli, impressed by Bale's portrayal of Patrick Bateman, suggested the Bond role was his for the asking, but Bale wasn't interested. He criticized the Bond franchise as very British and loathed the character, calling him every despicable stereotype about England and British actors. Declaring, "I have already played a serial killer," Bale's reluctance likely spared the studio from dealing with a less than enthusiastic Bond, though his intense take would have been fascinatingly unorthodox. Michael Gambon. Sir Michael Gambon, now celebrated for roles like Dumbledore and his award-winning stage work, was once considered to replace Sean Connery as Bond. In the late 60s, as a rising star in Laurence Olivier's National Theatre, Gambon was one of the UK's most promising actors. He claimed he turned down the role because he didn't fit Bond's image, humorously noting, "I haven't got nice hair and I'm a bit fat," and joked that Bond's hair was a wig. Clive Owen. Clive Owen, famously associated with the Bond role he never took on, was widely considered a perfect fit after his charismatic performance in Croupier. His suave persona even led to a cameo as Nigel Boswell, Agent 006, in The Pink Panther, reinforcing the belief he was Bond material. However, Owen lost the role to Daniel Craig, with speculation suggesting he either sought a share of the profits or avoided the typecasting that came with Bond. In any case, Owen was able to declare in 2014 that Bond was the best thing that never happened to me, showing an absence of regrets. Dominic West. Dominic West, known for his versatility and candid interviews, was considered for Bond in 2005, but never fully explained why he didn't land the role. He humorously recalled auditioning in jeans and a t-shirt, while others were in tuxedos, trying to stand out with a casual approach. In the end, West did not pursue the role further. It has been suggested that his audition was very strong, but did not wish to stand in the way of Pierce Brosnan. Richard Burton. In 1959, Richard Burton was a top Hollywood star, known for his stage work and the film The Robe. Bond author Ian Fleming approached Burton, seeing him as a fitting choice for Bond's rugged virility. Burton declined, citing his commitment to playing King Arthur on Broadway and dismissing Bond as just another movie. A decade later, after Sean Connery left, Burton again refused, this time over salary disputes. Cary Grant. Cary Grant, known for his suave performance in Hitchcock's North by Northwest, seemed a perfect fit for Bond, making it unsurprising that producers Harry Saltzman and Albert Cubby Broccoli approached him for Dr. No. Broccoli, a close friend of Grant's, was confident he'd accept. However, at 50, Grant felt he was too old for the ongoing commitment the role required. He would play the part once, he offered, and then they could move on with another actor if they so desired. James Mason. Ironically, after Grant turned down the part, the next choice for James Bond was his North by Northwest co-star and antagonist James Mason. He turned down the role for similar reasons to Grant, being in his early 50s at the time of being approached and not wishing to be held in a long-term commitment. He was offered to play Bond twice, rather than once, but it was still not enough. Lord Lucan. Richard Bingham, 7th Earl of Lucan, now infamous for his mysterious disappearance after allegedly murdering his children's nanny in 1974, was once considered for the role of James Bond. His friend Ian Fleming suggested him for the part, as Lucan, who often gambled with Fleming at the Clermont Club and drove an Aston Martin, embodied the suave, aristocratic image of 007. Broccoli, always keen on a good publicity angle, offered Lucan a screen test, but Lucan declined, deciding against a future in acting.